Welcome to the Blind Zone. It's not the Twilight Zone because that's an imagination, but the Blind Zone is real and it's actually sits between your ears, it's in your head. So I'd like to tell you what the Blind Zone is. It's those events in life that either come upon you suddenly or that are right in front of you and you refuse to see them, but they're right in front of your face. So we're going to explore a little of that. Let me first tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Denise, and I don't take myself very seriously. You can tell, jangly earrings and all. Um, and I am very curious, though, but I'm very correctable. So, in the course of these videos, I'm going to tell you a little about myself, but I'm also going to interview people and we're going to explore their blind zones also. So, let's get started. What I'd first like to tell you is, well, okay, let's be honest. I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, does she know that her voice sounds like a rusty nail scraping the bottom of a tin can? Why, yes, I do. And if you think my talking voice is bad, you should hear how it sounds in music. I'm a terrible singer. I don't know the words. I make up the words as I go. Then I thought, well, if I had a great talking voice, then I would have done voiceover for commercials and I'd have gotten filthy rich and there would have been no dealing with me. So God gave me this voice instead. You know, you have what you have. So, a few things about me. How this whole thing started was I had lots of extra time on my hands and I thought, geez, I'd like to get a job. And then I thought, ugh, that sounds like a lot of work. So then I decided that I would do this instead. And one of the things I really, really, really like to do is I like to read. I read about 7 to 10 books a week. And again, way too much time on my hands. I get it. And one of the books a couple years ago, my daughter and I decided that we would read the book, The Complaint, A Complaint Free Life. And then I thought, geez, how long do you think that's going to take? So the other things I like to do is I have three small group women's Bible studies. They're not three small women, but they're three women's groups that I do in a small group. And I really enjoy that. That's really one of my bailiwicks. I love to teach and talk about the Bible, and I do it through my church. And I will tell you though, my church is kind of stuffy because I did volunteer to lead the small group men's singles group, and they said no, a hard no on that. So I had to give up that. Um, the other thing I do have to tell you is on a more, I guess, on a more serious note, one of the blind zones that has been shown to me is my excuses. Excuses to me are like nails that I've been shooting myself in the foot with. And along with excuses are, bad memories, fears, guilt, shame. All those things are very poor motivators. But what they do is they keep you stuck in the past. They're like a really hardy gorilla glue. And so what the blind zone is going to help us with is looking at those things and examining them, but not in a harsh, critical way, because who has time for all that? So that's part of what I'm endeavoring to do here. And I will tell you that for those who know me personally, they will see this as a magnanimous gesture. One of the things that I will do, I will be interviewing people and having them as guests on the Blind Zone. And I have invited them to that I will personally do their hair and makeup for them. And I know that that is just an exemplary thing for me to do. And those of you who know me personally you will know why that is so hilarious. Anyway, on a little, I have to say this. Everybody tells me that you have to have disclaimers, and so my disclaimer is seriously, people, this is just entertainment. This isn't going to change lives. This isn't going to, it isn't for counseling or advice. This is just entertainment, and mostly just my entertainment. But what I do want you to know is that words have power, and we are not going to use them like sharp sticks in this environment. I want people to comment, but I need them to be respectful. I need them to be kind, because this right here, this is a safe space. This is a grace space. This is not a place for you to get out your unnecessary anger. If you want that, click on any other website and you can see all the dark side of the world. But again, this is supposed to be fun and lighthearted, and a place where we can just kind of laugh at ourselves and explore things that maybe we weren't interested in looking at too heartily before. So again, this is just a brief welcome, and when this starts in earnest, we'll talk about some issues. I'll be talking to you about some of my big hot topics besides the excuses. I'll be going over some pride things, some control things, just just basic general things that everybody has stuck between their ears and their head. So at this point, I would jump up and go, ta-da, my first welcome video is done. But that would have just thrown the camera person off. So I stayed seated. But again, I'm glad you're here. And please, please, please get over all the imperfections in this thing, because I'm not going to do this ad nauseum until it's a perfect product, because that defeats the purpose. I'm going to try my best, and I'm sure as I go on, the improvements will, be seen in incremental bites. And I've watched enough YouTube videos to know, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do. But all I can tell you is I felt led to do this, and I'm glad you're along for the ride. And next week will be my very first guest, my very funny and good friend Cindy. And trust me when I tell you, lots of stuff going on in between her ears, but it's all great stuff. Again, we're not here to be harsh or critical. It's just a fun time. And I thank you all for joining me on my very first The Blinds Zone moment. And my parting words are, laugh at life.